from LA. I'm Jenny Tapp. Here with Bailiff and Shannon Sharp.
You ain't get to do that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm back.
Where'd you back from?
I'm feeling much better today.
For what?
The 49ers lost at home. The Eagles are about to lose at home to New England, coming off a bye. And Kawhi last night, he was just
Don't do that.
filling up the stat sheet.
Don't do that. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
he
yeah.
was.
Don't do that.
Shannon.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You know what? I should have did that yesterday. How about them Vikings?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Well, you didn't.
You can still do it
didn't.
today.
But I get
There's
it this
still
week.
time.
Oh.
I get it next Monday. How about them Lions?
Lions.
They go.
Want to put a case on it right now?
No,
somebody is nervous.
If Stafford was playing,
Yeah.
you could have got you a case.
He might play.
No,
I will
he
not
didn't
be
play.
surprised. He always wants to play against his hometown team.
We have got a packed show today. Are the Cowboys' playoff hopes ruined after their home loss to the Vikings? You know, it still feels good to say. And are LeBron and the Lakers the clear title favorites? But first, we'll start with last night's Monday Night Football thriller. It was a slugfest between the Seahawks and 49ers. The Seahawks overcame an early 10-point deficit to jump ahead 21-10 in the third. The Niners would answer by tying the game with 1 second left. Then, with a chance to win it with a touchdown in overtime, Russell Wilson threw his second pick of the season at the San Francisco 4-yard line. The Niners rookie kicker, Chase McLaughlin, had a 47-yard field goal attempt for the win. Go wide left. Ultimately, Russ would lead the Seahawks down to kick the game-winning field goal as time expired. And after the game, Russ said it was, quote, the craziest game I have ever been a part of. So, Shannon, how much did last night help Russell Wilson's MVP chances?
I believe he increased his lead slightly, Skip. He just took down an 8-0 team on the road. And you look at it, Skip, the way he make plays, yes, he can run the card. I mean, Skip, they call plays, and yeah, that's fine and good. And a lot of guys can make plays. He's most dangerous once he gets off script. And his ability to run the football, and Skip, we watched last night where they blew the whistle. That's how close the Giants came from not winning a Super Bowl, because they could have easily blown the whistle when they had Eli Manning in the grass. And Eli
Oh,
was,
so you're saying Brady deserved another one?
no, I'm just saying.
Oh, he got robbed of that one. Yeah.
He didn't get robbed. But I'm just saying that they blew that dead, and guess what happens? Russ and his great improvisational skills bailed them out again. Skip, and the thing is, he did that the large part of the game in the second half without Lockett. His best receiver. He has a great rapport with Lockett. He did it without Lockett. What's the most amazing part about this? You know, Skip tells us all the time that he could, Tom Brady's doing this thing with guys from Dorchester.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is doing it with two guys, Hollister and Gordon, that got released by the Patriots. And Russell Wilson took that show on the road to the new Chase. What was it? What's I don't even know what the stadium is called. It's not Levi.
Levi
Dungarees.
Stadium.
Levi, little
Yeah.
Dungarees. We used to call them back in the day, Jenny. We used to call them Dungarees. You remember that, don't you, Skip?
That's way before my
Yeah, well, but you wore Dungarees too. You wore Levi's.
Dungarees?
Yeah, jeans.
Sounds like something from Australia or something.
Jeans.
Oh, okay.
That's what in the South we didn't have the name brand. They call them dungarees. Get your pair of them dungarees, boy, and go on out there in the fields. But anyway, Skip, in one-score games, when the rubber needs to meet the road, and that's the road. That's when you tell a lot about a quarterback. 7-1 in one-score games, 21 touchdowns, 1 INT, lead the league in touchdown passes. Skip, I'm not saying he opened an insurmountable lead. This is, excuse me, insurmountable lead. This is not Joe Burrow's for the national for the national for the Heisman. He doesn't have that type of lead, but he's out front, and I don't think he did anything to diminish that because he did win the game. He did beat a previously undefeated team on the road, and he deserves kudos for that.
You know, I'm going to say it again. I got to get a new TV. Or I got to get me some of those Shea Sharp glasses.
Yeah, you do.
'cause they have this, like 20/20 hindsight.
Well, if you think Dak better than Russell Wilson, you definitely need glasses.
I definitely need glasses then. You know what? I got to get me some of those brownies you cook up, old Chef Shea. You know, because those brownies, they got some ingredients.
some of those
Because they
on
make you see illusions on your TV, right?
Well, I gave some to Deion Waiters.
Gave him a panic attack.
Maybe a little too much, Shannon.
I saw a very different game. I saw Russell Wilson struggle much of the night. I saw Russell Wilson throw for a grand total of 155 yards in regulation.
Yes.
Just in regulation. If my quarterback Dak Prescott threw for 155. I would never hear the end of that. I saw Russell Wilson with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter get the ball just taken right away from him before he even was pulled to the ground. It just got wrenched away, stripped. His lineman had it for a second, and then all of a sudden it's loose again, scoop and score, and a 21-10 Seattle game suddenly was 21-18. So he allowed San Francisco right back in that game. Then I saw Russell Wilson on the first drive of the overtime get it all the way down to the 14-yard line and throw a completely inexcusable, awful, shocking red zone interception, an underthrow to one Jacob Hollister that was picked off and returned 47 yards that set up a 47-yard San Francisco field goal by the substitute kicker. And your guy, Russell Wilson, was very lucky. That one, he duck hooked. He just absolutely snap hooked it. Or we might be having a different conversation right now, and I'm very happy as a Cowboy fan that he did snap hook that. So I saw Russell Wilson have a grand total QBR of 41 last night, scale of 0 to 100, and fall down the rankings to third, just barely above an oncoming Lamar Jackson. So they're third and fourth now in QBR. So my takeaway from last night was Lamar Jackson surged ahead in the MVP race. And I'm going to remind you that Lamar Jackson has already gone to Seattle and outdueled Russell Wilson head-to-head in his house with a QBR of 75 to Russ's 65, and they won that game, the Baltimore Ravens did, 30-16. And in that game, speaking of running with the football, Lamar went 14 times for 116 yards on the ground. That's extraordinary. So Russell is more of a scrambling quarterback, but Lamar can beat you with his legs on called plays. And when I add all that up, I'm sorry, I just saw Lamar outplay Tom Brady and outwit Bill Belichick in his house in Baltimore. So grand total of Lamar is pulling away to me in the MVP race. I'm sorry, I didn't see Russell Wilson do anything last night but get lucky. He was playing against a Jimmy G. You want to see that Jimmy G? Bill, if Bill's watching right now, Bill Belichick, you want that Jimmy G we saw last night being the next Tom Brady for you? Would that have been a mistake?
That was all my concerns with him, is that he's a turnover machine.
He is.
And what happens is that when someone touches him, the ball comes out. You see, he let Seattle back into the ball game with that fumble, scoop, and score by Clowney. He threw another horrible pick. He fumbled again. It's his turnovers that will cause this team from reaching their ultimate goal. But here's the thing, Skip. Okay, you look at, both teams have 2 losses. The Ravens have lost to the Browns and the Chiefs. Seattle lost to the Saints and the Ravens. But one team went on the road, beat an 8-0 team. The other team was at home, beat an 8-0 team. Okay, fine. Now, obviously, win-loss plays a role in it. But it does come down to, this is a stat award now. This is a stat award. Look at the stats. What does the stat tell you? You tell me now, one guy has a higher completion percentage, one guy has a higher QBR, yards per attempt, and more touchdowns, fewer interceptions. I'm confused here.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm confused. Russell Wilson's lost twice at home, and guess who the other loss was to? Lamar Jackson on one. He lost to Teddy Bridgewater in Teddy's first start in place of Drew Brees.
You guys lost to him too, though,
and
right?
that score was 33-14, visiting team with 3 minutes left in that game. Help me out. You like that?
Is that a worse loss than losing to Sam Darnold? But we're not talking about that. Skip.
No, we're not talking about that. Is that all you got? Every time you get backed into a corner, you just flail and say, what about the Cowboys?
No, Skip.
They're not involved in this discussion.
So what am I supposed to do with 8-2? A guy that has 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, with a high QBR, high completion
What does your eye test tell you over the last 3 weeks?
Skip, the guy, do you see what he's doing it with? Do you see what Russell's doing this with?
What was Russell's biggest test of the year so far? It was last night. What did you see?
Did he pass? Did he pass the test?
Well, I saw him pass for 155 in regulation. You like that?
Yeah, but
okay, and by the way, you say they did lose Tyler Lockett, and they did.
Yes.
Who was Garoppolo playing without? He didn't have Kittle to start.
Emmanuel Sanders.
And Emmanuel Sanders was gone fairly quickly in that game. So all of a sudden, you can argue he had two key receivers gone.
But, Skip, at the end of the day, Seattle is still a run-based team, and they ran the ball 30.
So if they're run-based, then Russell can't really be the MVP, can he?
Okay, so on a run-based team, he leads the league in touchdown passes. Explain that to me.
Well, how do you explain it?
No,
That sounds like it's a pass-based.
No.
That's a pass-based team. And you always tell me about empty stats. Go look at how many empty stats he put up when they were down 33-14 against New Orleans.
I'm not Skip.
They never really got back in the game, but he threw like crazy in the last 3 minutes.
So now all of a sudden, empty stats mean something.
Well, that's what you always tell me. I'm just using your argument back on you.
But this is not. Hold on. We're not arguing about that. You see what I'm saying, Jenny? Now, first,
don't ask Jenny. Just tell me.
I know. We're arguing about who didn't clean up the kitchen, and you talking about.